Galaga. I think this might be the first shmup. Correct me if I'm wrong. Galaxia doesn't count in my opinion. This feels like a shmup. Alright, let's play some. You just can't move up, so it makes it feel a little bit like Space Invaders. Did I mention that I'm not excellent at shmups? That's not what this is about. I'm just gonna tell you if I like them. Alright, I think the strategy here is shoot less, but more accurate. Alright, let's keep moving. 1943. There are a bunch of these games. 1941, 1943, 1944. Was there a 45? Anyway, these are pretty successful. This one came out in 87. Let's play it. I like this one too. Might be my favorite from the series. Don't argue about that. I don't care. I love the exploding sounds. Great. Firing sounds good too. The sound effects are really good. Artwork's kind of basic, but good. I like how things explode. It's that old-fashioned, well, you know, 80s feels good. But while still having color. Patriotic music. This is fun. If you were a true patriot, you played this game. Don't like this new weapon. But also I'm getting bored, so we're gonna move on. originally came out in 1987 for the arcade, I think, the NES, even the Game Boy, all the same game. This is a remake, though, which has some really nice improvements. You can play with classic mode, where 3 lives, and if killed, you continue to the last checkpoint. This was something that to me made the original game unplayable, just because I sucked so much. Every time I got blown up, I went all the way back. An infinite mode feels more like a modern SHMUP, where every time you blow up, you just get another ship. I actually wouldn't mind a blend mode, where you only have 3 lives, but you continue right from where you were, and you have to continue. That to me would be the fairest, and I don't see that option here at all. Let's go with infinite mode. You can switch graphic modes mid-game too, but we're going to start in 3D and widescreen. This game feels great. Especially now that you can blow up and just keep playing. It's amazing. But the amazing thing is that this game is actually from 1987. And you can see that because all I have to do is hit this button. And here we are. Back in 1987. The action on this game is amazing, which is probably why this game is such a legend in 1987. This game plays like a modern game. The input responses is great. Music's great too. Explosions are nice. Alright, let's upscale the graphics, huh? The only other game I saw do this was Secret of Monkey Island Special Edition. Which lets you switch graphics modes in the game. Oh, I forgot about this. Nice. This game even has happened. It's a nice improvement. Oh, they don't move. I see the old kind of use the new one. That's cool. Okay, that's disgusting. When does this end? Alright. That was fun. Another one of my favorites, Batsugun. Have you ever heard of this one? This one came out because it was easy. Oh, alright, this is Open Tyrian, and came out in 1995, I think. Kind of a boom of shmups. This was made for the PC, so that was a little different than what else was going on at the time. It might have been the first serious shmup that I ever played, but this thing is a really great game, and I think often people don't even talk about it. So, this is the Open Tyrian, so you have some extra settings on here. You have something called scaling. This actually defaulted to scale 2x. It was HQ 2x. Yeah. But to me, that makes the fonts look funny, so I actually think that 2x just looks boxier, but more classic, and I think actually better all around. Alright, let's get started. You got full game and arcade. Arcade is kind of how the games have always worked. Full game is something that's unique to the PC game, and I think is pretty interesting, so let me first show you how that works. Back in the day, there were shareware games. As you can hear, they always gave you the first episode for free. Then you had to buy to get the other episodes. So, this is the full game. And what's cool about this one is you can upgrade your ship. Right? So, as you play, you can save up money and then use that to do ship upgrades. You can see over here, for example, as you cycle through these, it'll show you in the preview window what you're doing. Or you can just play arcade mode. And in arcade mode, you just get upgrades as you play. Let's do that. Let's do one level of that. I love the music in this game. First level is really easy, just gets used to the controls, game style. You can see it's slow and easy. That's right, you blow rocks up in this game. You know, I kind of wish I still had the first gun. It's the best one. That's pretty good too. Wait about this one, right? In this game, the generator will actually give you your health back. So those are some of these upgrades. Oh yeah, now we're talking. So not only is this game horizontal oriented shooting, but there's actually more horizontal. It's off the screen. And this is, I think, the only horizontal shmup that I've ever seen that makes this good use of the space. Most of them feel cramped vertically. This one is not at all.
Cleared enemy platform. Warning, spike ahead.
We're speeding up. You can shoot the spikes too. I wonder if mod the game actually blow them up. Seems like we just can't shoot them enough in time.
Enemy ahead.
Alright, it's boss time. Now it's... oh, big boss.
Large enemy approaching.
Alright, let's take care of this guy. Hey, is this considered a bullet hell? Just kidding.
Level completed.
I like how you get a destruction rating. Pretty neat. Alright, let's do level 2 and then we'll get on to the next step.
Good stuff.
Just so you can see some variety. That's what this looks like. So yeah, I think this game is great. Really great. The original version only plays at 30 frames per second, but this is Tyrian, which plays at 60. There might be some challenges getting the last episode into Tyrian, but I've seen it done also. But hey, the first episodes are probably the best one anyway. It's usually the share working parts. Only other thing I should probably mention is there's a game around the same time, Apogee, also for the PC, Raptor, called Shadows. I think this is way better. But that game I think also allowed you to do ship upgrades. So you gotta give it some credit. I think it came out here earlier too. Wow, the sound of this game. The visuals are great. I think this game holds up even today. Alright, let's move on. Battle Garegga, arguably the greatest shoot-'em-up game of all time. I disagree, but I still like it a lot. I mean, again, we're talking about which games are fun to play, not which ones are the greatest games in it. Anyway, with that said, it is a great game. I'm not saying it's not. It's not the most fun. This came out in 96, 2 years after Batsugun. Graphics are better than this definitely feels like a more real game. Something that actually requires skill. It's clever doing it. For those of you who really like SHMUPS, I'm sorry you haven't seen this. In fact, maybe just go ahead. Unless anybody in the world has heard this game, watch it. made by Rising. Known for a lot of the games. Alright, that's 75 cents so far. I think this would constitute full of health, right? The last ones I'm not so sure about. Let's see some stage 2 on the move on. Stuff back. That's actually cool. You get to take your stuff back after you die. Fast enough. It's like sound. Next up, we've got Einhander. This came from the early days of PlayStation. Probably came out the first year. I don't know exactly. Maybe it's like 1997 or something. Made by Squaresoft. And as far as I know, there are never any sequels to this. So it's kind of a one-off. And, you know, there's people who say, hey, how come there's never any other follow-up games to this? This is the greatest game ever. So I figure I'll play it too. I actually have played this a while ago. This is not a regular rotation. Is that a ship or a person? These graphics are terrible, but the gameplay's great, and I like this in the background actually. Just the sprites themselves are pretty pixelated. The background art's pretty cool. I like the flying through a city. Yeah, I kind of dig it. Oh, what? What? That's whack. Right. That's cool, you can shoot stuff off the building. So, what do you guys think? Is there something amazing about this game? Does it need a sequel? Or is it as good as every other game that came out around the same time? I think there was a Darius game that came out around this time. Was it Darius? I love that one. It seems I'm not good at this. Oh, he probably wants it. And he dies. Well, it's been real, folks. On to the next. Okay, 2001, Ikaruga. Considered by many to be the greatest shmup ever. This originally came out in Japan on the arcades, I think, and it only came to the US on Dreamcast initially, and then eventually to the GameCube and everywhere else. Some pretty great settings here. You've got in video settings, you've got rotate screen. So you can rotate the screen sideways if you wanted, but then keep the controls the other way. So you can actually play this game in horizontal mode too if you wanted to, by basically keeping the HUD regular but the screen flipped. That's pretty cool. Or you can flip everything, of course. So you know what? I'm gonna do continues for this playthrough. The arcade didn't give you that, I don't think. All right, let's get going. Or did it? If you just kept putting points in. We're gonna go with arcade settings. Yes, easy, enemies that return fire. Normal, enemies with same polarity return fire. More on that. So you see the blue bullets are not affecting you at all. That's because I have a blue shield around me, which can be swapped. And that makes this game interesting, where you can avoid some of the bullets and then swap colors to get past obstacles. Another thing worth noting, in the top left corner you'll see chain status. If you want to keep the best way is to shoot enemies in pairs of 3. Because of that, it's a little bit of a bad rush. Some people really against that. I don't care. Just play the game without running score points, and try to get as far as you can. So if you do that, you can also try to get chains. That's fine too. The soundtrack of this game concept of polarity is awesome. And yeah, I really like this game. I don't know if it's the greatest game ever, but especially in 2001, I think it holds up today well. There's also like an 8-bit code game in Ikaruga. I forgot to switch colors here. What else is interesting about this game? I actually don't think you have to shoot anybody in this game to win. I think you can just avoid the enemy. In fact, the boss will eventually go away if you just don't hit him. But you got to survive. Alright, so this boss starts out as blue fire. Switch to red. See what's happening. I read a story about somebody who TV on the side. This way back. And I noticed that the feedback inside of this actually already screen could light on fire. If the air vents were exposed, obviously, a lot of this on the lower side is fine. This game has so much happening feedback, it's ridiculous. Yes, I got a force destruction bonus because they didn't actually have to destroy it at all. You just have to take out one of them. Or that's it with level 2. It's like, I don't know, so I think the experts consider this game to be on the almost perfect list. There's an official best SHMUPS list. It's pretty high up. Comments. Just hate up. I love it so much. Not like anyone thinks this is actually a bad game. Some people argue that it's not SHMUP. Change status thing. This level is more puzzling. That was cool. It switched colors really fast. Oh. Alright, enough of this, but great game, huh? I think so. Alright, Ketsui. Considered by many to be the second greatest shooter of all time. Fun fact about this one, there's a Nintendo DS version of this game where all you do is fight bosses, and it's also only on one of the screens. That feels like such a missed opportunity. But, all that said, they rearranged the levels in a way where it actually is playable, so it's fun if you want to take a Nintendo DS with you and practice boss fighting, you can. This game is pretty colorful, a lot of stuff going on the screen. I like it, I don't love it. Well, you can't even continue in this game. What's up with that? I thought as long as you keep throwing coins in, you can keep playing. That's lame. Alright, sounds like I'm actually gonna have to get good at this game to be able to get the C levels with level 2. So, let's move on. Next up we've got Deathsmiles, hailing all the way from 2007. I think experts consider this to be almost an excellent game. Yeah, it was only in Japan. It was later ported to US consoles, but the arcade I think was only in Japan. So you can actually choose your path over here, and you get different levels depending on which one you choose. Mechanics in this game are pretty simple. You can shoot to the right or to the left. As far as I know, not up or down. And yeah, they didn't bother with the ship in this game. You're just a flying person. But hey, it works. Turns out you don't need to have a ship to be able to have a good time. Just be a person who shoots fire. It's one hit and you're dead. Contra style. I actually, well, let's put a coin in. I actually like this game. Alright, we're just talking about the coolest fun factor. This thing's fun. A lot of fun. Lots of explosions. Oh, big boss time. Fun fact about this game, it had a lot of slowdowns in the original arcade, and then when they ported it over to the consoles, they didn't have the slowdowns, and people couldn't beat certain stuff, and they actually had to bring the slowdowns back, so now the slowdowns are officially part of the game. Alright. Alright, let's try another one. So you're a flying person who shoots people who jump out of the forest? Works for me. This game has definitely got the gothic thing down pretty good. I have no idea what they're saying. Do you? Oh, it's a bad guy. I'm gonna get you. Alright. Let's see what happens. See, this boss doesn't know that I have infinite moves. I got a whole row of quarters of it. Let's see who has the last laugh, huh? Huh. Okay, I don't know what just happened, because I thought I lost, but alright, that's enough for this game. I like this game. 2009, DariusBurst. So this was originally, I think, a game for the PSP. Then an arcade, and then there were a bunch of new stuff that were added. So anyways, over here you've got AC mode. This is going to be the arcade, Cabinet 001. This one runs in double widescreen, which is pretty awesome. And if you've got a double screen or super ultra widescreen setup, this is probably going to be sick to play on your own computer. But on anything else, it's going to be really squeezed. But I do like that you get such a wide form factor. It feels very surreal, actually. So let's show you some of this. Oh, that's your burst. Okay. That's your regular fire. You've ever heard the term wide screen? No. You can see enemies that were still 10 minutes away from you. Pretty neat. You know, I think this is worth getting an ultra-wide screen for, just so you can play this the way it was meant to be played. Almost got it. Fourth battleship is approaching fast. Just a big fish. You can have a person in your ship. There's no fish in your ship also. Now let's use our burst. Alright, how about we try the other mode, huh? Remember, mind head when leaving, and that's what the cabinet looks like, too. Okay, back at the DariusBurst. This time we're going to do CS mode. That's more similar to some of the home console versions of this game. Different levels, just 16 by 9 instead of 32 by 9. It's essentially a different game. I actually like this one more. Very interesting choice of music. I like it, but definitely different. though, friend. I know it's the only Darius been doing, but it's the last of many other Darius. Potentially considering a better game than this one, according to YouTubers. What do I know? This one. Darius 1 and 2. G Darius. I have timed us in the song. Sick. Better burst here too. You should probably use it when you can, right? Here's a way to switch the direction of the ship. I know that. Oh, there we go. You know, that looks more like he self-destructed than I killed him. But hey, I'll take it. Zone is over. Be on your guard. This we call level 2, huh? I think this is way better than the arcade. CS stands for Chronicles. Here you got there. Fish themed. What do you think? You like it? I like it. So instead of bullet hell, it's enemy hell. Down for that. Where I want to switch your ship around. Alright, on to the next. Next up, we've got Crimson Clover World Explosion. I think the original Crimson Clover actually came out in 2011, followed by Crimson Clover World Edition. That was a port release, so they had that on all consoles. That one had a lot of issues with the PC. It wasn't getting 60 frames FPS. So as you can see, the World Explosion, they're very proudly advertising the FPS in the corner there. That's default, so I didn't even enable that. It's just how it came. Alright, let's play some World Explosion. think this game is considered to be a great game by those who've heard of it. As I hear it, this game is severely ironic. Like we established earlier, I'm not SHMUP expert, and I'm just trying to time. So, this game is like buttons. I would say this is sweet about this. All the stars, this game is buttery smooth. Seems pretty easy. Lots of fire and explosions. Not fast. We'll see what this mirror goes up. Choice. I guess I would focus on the these guys are relentless, so coming back. So, leave me some notes in the comments. Is this actually a good game or not? I don't even know. I think it's fun. There's definitely better games. I like this game. I feel like I can play this game while I'm having a conversation with someone. Honestly. So 3 based on that. It's a high score. On skill required. Skill build up actually better in this game than other games. I don't know. Boss seems pretty easy. Something's gonna happen. And nothing happens. Okay. That is definitely a world experience. Hey, Candy! I'm too excited for this is something right. Same, but different. This does eventually belong to almost enough time. definitely has better music than Galaga. And better stories. Alright, enough of this. Alright, next we've got Jamestown. This game also came out in 2011. Takes place in the year 1619. I like the music, it's like Braveheart. Here we go, November 5th, 1619. Especially appealing to beginners or something. This is doing the same thing as Tyrian was doing, where you can pan left to right, especially for a horizontal game to add additional horizontal. So there was that now. But I think there's plenty of vertical space to this game, so that's good. This game feels very slow to me. Bah! Alright, let's try to continue. Boss, overmind the Martian rebel forces. So there's red and blue fire. I allowed to hit some of them, but not the others. Like Ikaruga. Does this work? Wartime theme. He's getting angry. Alright, definitely just got hit by blue fire. Maybe not by the red. Nope, by the red too. Alright, enough of this. Alright, we've got ZeroRanger. Last but certainly not least. This one's from 2018. I don't care if it's yellow on it. But orange blue. Orange blue. I don't care. Controls me. Green. Yeah, these lights were colors. Excellent. Oh, prep tip. Save your game early and often. Back your game up. Back it up. You're welcome. That part pisses me off.
Please continue.
Okay, only because you asked nicely. That part was like Dr. Darius. Anyway, this slowdown looks like it's intentional. We has beat the boss. We have restored the power of G. Still already. Alright, I'm calling
Nine.
quits.
8,